Now we have our last lightning talk from Honi Alexander, the program director at Galveston's own farmers market. Honi Alexander was originally born and raised right here in Denver. After moving to Texas, she became a volunteer garden waterer for the Young Gardeners program. After 3 years as a garden leader for one school, she's now the program director of Galveston's own farmers markets, overseeing 10 gardens at 8 schools in Galveston. Please welcome Honi to the stage.
Wonder, intrigue, and awe. Wonder, intrigue, and awe. I'd like you to keep that in mind as I talk today. My name is Honi Alexander. I am with the Young Gardeners program, which is a project of Galveston's own farmers market in Galveston. And we always start our gardens each year with a sense of wonder, intrigue, and awe. Every time I talk to my garden leaders, I tell them, start off with wonder, intrigue, and awe as you go into your gardens. Every year when we start our gardens back, now we're in Galveston, we're a little lucky, right? Our growing season is all year long, pretty much. But when we go into our gardens, every time we plant, we see color. We see the reds of the peppers. We see the greens of the cabbage, the purple of the cabbage. And we wonder, what does that taste like? What is the flavor going to be like in our mouths? We're intrigued by the seeds that actually germinated. We're intrigued by the textures that the different vegetables in our gardens have. And we're in awe of the salads that can come together and the foods that we can eat. We enjoy and we embrace the colors in our gardens. Why then do we sometimes stop embracing the colors when it comes to our children? Look at all those beautiful colors. Sometimes people say things like, I don't see color. If that is you and you feel that, sit with that for a moment and wonder why you would have not see all the beauty that the color of these children have to offer. They have a sense of wonder. Wonder why that child's color is what it is. Where did they come from? What is their cultural background? Be intrigued by how they eat their food, how they prepare cabbage, how they prepare green peppers. Be in awe at how their language can teach you something about the garden. Be in awe by all the ways that they dance to music, how they integrate their families. Have a sense of wonder, intrigue, and awe all of the time with your children. We have a farmer's market so I don't know if you're familiar with Galveston. It's an island, basically, down at the bottom of Texas. So we have an island there. We have gardens across the entire island. But we also have a peninsula where you have to take a ferry ride over. We have a farmer's market over there. So keep that in mind as I tell you this story. When we look at our kids in the gardens, we grow food all year round. And we have, we're mostly black and brown students in our gardens. And most of our educators are white, particularly white women. So we're always challenged with wonder, intrigue, and awe, and trying to get them to see color. Not just the color in the garden, but the color of the students. Now, in preparing for this farmer's market that's on the peninsula, we have kids that come into the gardens that don't always want to be there, right? Sometimes during the program, you guys have seen it, there's a child that might be labeled disruptive. Well, we have one little kid, that's Tristan. He's in the middle, he's holding up the big zucchini squash. Tristan came to me in our garden program because he was being disruptive. Now, I want you to think about this. Sometimes black and brown children are labeled disruptive. White children are called energetic. Black and brown children talk too much. White children are expressive. The terminology that we use when we are not seeing color embeds itself in their psyche, embeds themselves in how they see themselves. Tristan came to me as disruptive. We lead our program. We talk about, in the beginning, we have all the kids together, and we go over our routine, what we're going to do in the garden. We sing our song, and we go over the rules. While I'm doing this, Tristan's swinging on a pole. He's kicking dirt. He's not paying attention. But I let him go. I let him do it. Afterwards, I go to him and I say, Tristan, do you want to be in the garden? No, Miss Honi, I don't want to be in the garden today. Okay, no worries. You sit over here. If you want to join in, come over. The next day, same thing. Swinging on the pole, not listening, not paying attention. Tristan, do you want to be in the garden today? No, Miss Honi, I don't want to be here. Okay, but I noticed you got new shoes. Those are nice shoes. Oh, my dad got me these. I like them. Next day, swinging on the pole, kicking rocks. And I said, Tristan, I know you don't want to be in the garden today, but I need help. See those tomato plants? I need to plant them. And everyone else is busy in the garden. Can you just help me dig a hole? Okay. So I get him a hand trowel. We go over, and I'm like, I can't remember how deep I should dig my hole. And he gets the trowel, and he's like, well, maybe this deep. And I said, well, measure. And we measure, and it fits. And I said, well, now let's put the plant in. He goes to put it in, and I said, oh, did you tickle the roots? He said, what? I said, well, it's been cramped up in this little container. We have to tickle the roots and get the plant so it knows it's free. We tickle the roots and plant them, and I walk away. When I come back, he's planted all of them. The next day, we come back to garden program, and the tomato plants are kind of down. And I said, oh, no, Tristan, what do we do? He's like, I don't know. I said, what do you think they need? He said, water. I said, excellent, go water them. I look around. Tristan not only watered the tomato plants, but he watered the whole garden. He's in and engaged in the garden. Fast forward to the farmer's market on the peninsula. Now, to get to the peninsula, it's an hour wait in the ferry line and maybe 45 minutes on the ferry. It's summer. It's crowded. So we have to get over there early. I'm already over there. And once I get there, I'm setting up tables and getting everything ready. And I hear this behind me, Miss Honi, Miss Honi. And I look, Tristan is running up to me. He came across on the ferry with his father. And he said, Miss Honi, we made it. How can I help? So I put him in the garden. He's going to be in charge of garden tours. He takes the superintendent through the garden and tells them what the plants are that we're going to be selling that day. Tristan's father comes up to me and says, Miss Honi, listen, this boy came into my room at 6 o'clock this morning and would not leave. He said he would not leave until I got up and brought him over here. Tristan became engaged. Tristan became a gardener because I didn't let the label of being disruptive stop him. Because I know that his color, his beautiful ebony skin, tells a whole entire story of who he is and where he came from. And I'm intrigued to find out more about what he can tell me about himself. Wonder, intrigue, and awe. Look at all those beautiful faces. Look at all those different colors. Everyone has a story. Will you keep your minds open to the wonder and be intrigued about these students and be in awe of everything that they can teach us? Because had I not been open, we could have lost Tristan. But now, gardening is in his soul. Thank you.